Alright, welcome back to part 7. Alright, so this is once again we're going to look at a 2D problem regarding trigonometry. Alright, so this comes from the DBE November 2016 past exam question paper. Alright, so here we have triangle BMN with a smaller triangle AMN. They give us that this angle here is 25 degrees, 90 degrees and 15. Alright, so let's have a look at the questions. So the first thing they ask you is to calculate the length of AN. Alright, so line AN is here. So what I like to do is take my triangle and break it up for myself into a smaller triangle. Alright, so just focusing on this triangle, Alright, so this is triangle AMN. Alright, so if you're struggling to see it automatically, you can always go and redraw it for yourself. Alright, so let me quickly redraw my triangle here. So this is my degree, 90 degrees, so it's ANM. And I know that this angle here is 21 degrees. I will know that this one here is 15 units, and I want AN. Alright, so let's quickly make our checklist. So I have my angle, it is 21 degrees. I get my hoek, dit is 21 grade. Then the side I have, my side is touching my 21 degrees. So we know when a side is touching, wanneer 'n lyn aan my hoek raak, is dit my aangrensende sy. It is my adjacent side. Alright, so my adjacent side will be 15. And then the side I want, which is AN, it is opposite that angle, it is teenoor daai hoek. So my opposite side, my teenoorstaande sy, is AN. Alright, so the two ratios we're working with is adjacent and opposite, aangrensend and teenoorstaand, and we know that that is tan. Alright, so tan theta is equal to my opposite over my adjacent, so my aangrensend op my teenoorstaand. So substituting what we have an angle of 21 degrees, so I have tan 21 equals to my opposite, my teenoorstaande, sorry hierdie moet omruil. Okay, my teenoorstaande is AN, and my adjacent, my aangrensende is 15. Alright, so to get AN alone, I have to take over the 15, and when I take it over, it's going to multiply. So I'm going to have 15 times tan 21 equals to AN, which means that AN is equal to 15 times 21, which gives me 7.6. Alright, did they give me any units? No, they didn't. Alright, so I know that AN is 5.76. So this is question 5.1.1. Alright, now I go back to my sketch and whatever I worked out, I put in. So that I remember, for future references, I know that. Okay, now let's have a look at question number 2. What is the angle BMN? So BMN, so I want to know what is this entire angle here. Alright, so how are we going to calculate that? Okay, so the one thing we can see is we know that this side and this side is equal to one another. So we know that this side here is 5.76. Now what we want, is it in my small triangle or is it in my big triangle? Alright, so I want the entire angle M, so it is part of my big triangle. Alright, so let's quickly answer this question. So let's redraw my triangle. So my triangle is triangle BMN. Okay, so whenever I'm struggling, I always go and check in which 90-degree triangle does it lie. Right, because that already tells me what information do I need to use. Okay, so at the moment, I have MN, I know that is 15. I have BN, which I can also calculate because I know that Pn is, ooh, what happened here? Okay, Pn is those two sides added together, so Pn will be 11,52. And what do I want? I want to know what is angle M. Okay, so now we're going to do exactly the same. So what do I want? I want my angle. So my angle is unknown. Then from my angle, I have my opposite side. I get my teenoorstaande side, which is 11,52. And I have my side that is touching, and we call that your adjacent. Ek het die sy ook wat aan hom raak, wat my aangrensende sy is. So dit is 15. Right, so which two ratios am I working with now? Opposite and adjacent is still tan. Alright, so tan theta is equal to my opposite over my adjacent. So dis my teenoorstand op my aangrensend. So I don't have an angle, so it remains theta for now. So my opposite side is 11,52. My teenoorstaande sy is 11,52. My adjacent side of my aangrensende sy is 15. So now what do I want to work out? I want to calculate for theta. So I have to take my tan over. And remember, when you take over identity, it becomes the inverse. So it becomes -1, which I will get on my calculator using shift that. Alright, so to type this into my calculator, I'm going to say shift. I'm going to say tan. It's automatically going to give me my -1. And then I'm just going to put into brackets 11.52 over 15. Remember to close your bracket. So that will give me an angle of 37,52 degrees. Alright, now they didn't ask us for O, or for theta, they asked us to work out PMN. So I know that PMN is equal to 37,52 degrees. Alright, now once again, go put it in for yourself, because in the future you're probably going to need that information. Alright, so we know the entire one is 37,52. Okay, so my entire side here is, or angle here is 37,52 degrees, which know that part there will then be minus 21, so this part here is 16,52. Alright. Okay, now we can go to the last question. So the last question asks us to calculate for MP. So MP is here. Once again, it is in my big triangle. Alright, so let's go and redraw my big triangle again. So it's 5.1.3. So here is my big triangle. Let's fill in all the information we have. Alright, so we know that, PMN. We know that MN is 15. We know that PN is 11,52. And we know that angle M is 37,52. Alright, so in this case, we want PM. We already have two other sides. So you have two options. You can either use your trig ratios, or you can do Pythagoras. Alright, so let's use the Pythagoras theorem. So this is my 90-degree angle, which means the side directly opposite to it is my hypotenuse. Die sy direk oorkant my 90 grade hoek is my skynsy. So if I had to write the formula here now, it would be PM squared, because it's my hypotenuse, van is my skynsy, equals to MN squared plus PN squared. Remember your reason. Let's substitute in. So in MN's place we're putting 15. In PN's place we're putting 11,52. And if we work that out, I will get 225 plus 132,7104. So adding that to 225, I get 357,7104. And to get PM alone, I have to get the square root on both sides. I'm going to vierkantswortel aan beide kante kry. So PM will be the square root of this, which will give me an answer of 18,91. Alright, and there we just solved it. A full, how many marks did this question count? 9 marks. Okay, so the biggest hint I can give you, as you can see, it's always exactly the same thing. Determine which triangle, 90-degree triangle you're working in. Redraw it for yourself if you're struggling. And then you determine, do you have the angle or are you looking for the angle? And if you have the angle, which other side do you have and what side do you want to calculate? Or if you don't have the angle and you're looking for the angle, which two sides are given to you? And if you have two sides and you're looking for the third side, like we did here in the last example, then you can always make use of Pythagoras.